Please, wonderful. So, do you still have something to say about our rights? About our rights from our parents? We have said, make sure we are trained, make sure we are clothed very well, make sure we are fed very well, make sure our school fees are being paid, make sure you guide us so that we don't mess up. All these things are our rights. If you deny them from us, you have denied us our rights. Is that okay? Then, I don't know whether you still have something to say in our rights from our children, from our parents, sorry, please.
Yeah.
Our rights from our parents. Our rights from our parents.
This point is the main, because it's inside, just like egg. If you break, you see the white, the body. Then if you break the white body, you see the yolk. So that's just it. Just like we've said, provision, basic provision. That's the food and the school fees and the money. Make sure they don't lack. Then discipline. Yes, discipline. Then teaching them the way of the Lord. That's just with these three things.
And there is something that I observed recently these days. If you go out there, you see some little babies, little kids, like 3 years, 4 years, some 5 years, some 6, some even 8, 9, 10 years. Very sound. They are not blind. They are not lame. They are not there for them, but they are out there begging. They are out there begging. Then you see someone that they are out there hawking. A child of 3, 4, 5 years. You see that child hawking something at the major road. That motor flies up and down. What can we say that those children, have they been denied, have they been deprived of their rights?
Yes.
They have been deprived and denied.
Because their lives are danger. There's a story that I heard that there's this woman that gave birth, I think, to 3 children. She sent them to beg every single time. So one day, 2 people did not return. One returned. I was telling the mom that motor knocked down. I mean, you see some sad stories that even some reckless parents do unthinkable things.
The one I don't like is those ones. It's very small.
Louder.
Children. This one is not walking though. Like little children that you see walking on the road by themselves when they are coming back from school. Around 3, 4 years, you see them walk because anything can happen to them. That kind of thing. Just like this hawking now. A lot of children have died from hawking, and it's not right. As the children, you are not meant to make your children do your work.
Sure. You are not what? Say it again.
I'm not meant to make your children do
Yes,
your work.
yes.
It's not only that, even most times, all those kids hawking, they tend to learn bad things from society. Because one, they are seeing things they ought not to see at that particular stage in life.
There's no guide.
Yes, because there is no guide, no security there. So they are living in insecurity, let me put it like that. That's them now tending to learn bad things, evil things from the society. So all those children walking outside, you that is now anywhere you are, you don't know what he or she is seeing, and he or she is now recording in the table of his or her mind and in his or her heart.
The children store things very well.
And just you rightly said, or maybe later we talk about it. That is, you see little children. Let me just chip in that thing. That is borrowing a leaf from what you say. You see a child of 3 and 4 years coming back from school by themselves. Can we call that in? What do we call that in?
Irresponsible.
Huh?
It's very irresponsible.
Not once, that's not twice. On daily basis, a child of 4 years now going back home or going to school, that is all alone. Sometimes you will see them, they will be 3 numbers. A child of 4, a child of 5, and a child of 3. Going back home from school alone. Is that okay? So it's uncalled for. We should not ignore our responsibility. We should not abandon our responsibility. These children, they don't know their left and right. They don't know their left and right. We must do our own work. not allowing them to do our own work, just like rightly said. I love that word. And the other one that we said earlier, what can we say about those kids out there begging? They are not blind. They are not lame. Sometimes you even see them and their mom. Their mom is sound, very, very sound. The one that vexes me a lot, you will see their mom that with a newborn baby. A baby of about 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Another one of about 3 or 4 years. All of them begging. What can we? That's what can we call that? Our best. What can we call that?
I still call it being irresponsible. Even those that wear thick glasses, that is just the word, being irresponsible. Those ones that wear thick glasses like they are blind. Just like one Safo say, a woman was begging, then a man now say, let him pray for her so that she will see. The woman turned her back because she knows that she's not blind.
That's her shop.
That's the thing. So that's these people, you don't know if they are blind or not. They wear thick glasses, you can't see their eyes, and then you see them with their children. Just to make
just being irresponsible, because that as a parent you should provide, just like you said from the beginning, basic things. That basic things mean security is equally involved. What does it take now? Like staying, you cannot tell me that person does not have friends or relatives. Okay, even if you don't have, you can at least keep the child in the home, provide food. Then you cannot be the one, because one, the parent is matured enough. He or she knows the bad and the good. He or she knows danger. You understand? So what will it take her now? Providing food for the child, then going outside, then make the money, or just like, let me put it like, beg the money, then come back and put. Because all those things now is killing the child mentally.
You are piling something into
killing the child mentally, because
like I remember there's this one of our billionaires in this part of our country called Dozie. Is that okay? Then he narrated a story how he was raised up from poor and wretched family, but yet the mom didn't abandon them. The mom didn't abandon. The mom trained them. The mom we go out in the morning, stretch herself, and today you cannot talk about those that who have made it financially without talking about that man or those. So there are certain things you stretch yourself in order to train your children. You don't just abandon your work on them. Is that okay? There are parents out there, like when you maybe if like when we are traveling, maybe early in the morning, you see some mummies out there. You see some daddies out there. Some of them you see them buying things that they will sell. There are sweet and lovely mom out there. There are sweet and responsible dad out there who will stretch themselves to make sure that they train their children, and at the end of the day they will enjoy, because it is all about sowing and reaping. Sowing and reaping. Some of those people, they don't have, but they take that responsibility upon themselves, making sure that they provide. We have seen people born 6, 7, 8 in a house based on the hard working of their parents. Today, they are the people that their names are being mentioned all over. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So that is it. So we are not against the poor people. The Bible says that the poor will never lack in the society, but don't make yourself one. You can be poor today, tomorrow rich. Don't make yourself poor. And it is of a necessity that we help the poor, but don't make yourself what? One. Is that okay? It is of a necessity. We help the poor out there, but what we are talking, that is what we are against is don't make yourself one. Help the poor. Whosoever help the poor, whosoever lending to the poor is lending to the Lord. That's what the Bible says. If you are giving to the poor, you are giving to the Lord. But you are not expected to remain poor all the days of your life. So back to what we are saying, the right of a child. Then what is the right of a child from our government? Best, the right of a child from our government. We have talked from our parents, because they say charity begins at home. We cannot abandon our own work to government. And government at the same time should not abandon their own work to parents.
Yes.
So what is our right? Let me put our right, because I'm also, we all are kids. Is that okay?
Yes.
To the Lord anyway. So what is the right of a child? Or for the government right?
Okay. The number one right a child is supposed to enjoy or is being entitled to the children is education and social amenities like security, education, and a power supply. But education should be the number one thing a child is supposed to enjoy from the government.
Yes, just like you said, social amenities. That whenever the government provide something like a medical center, you understand, like hospital, steady lights, and water, then these are the rights the child should be able
enjoy
to
from
from the government. So social amenities is the number one. Is the number one thing.
Wonderful. Because there is something you see. There's something that is say that governments of our nation welcome you in the university with strike, which ought not to be so. You enter school, after 1 week, the school close up. Well, by the grace of God, they will still open. So let's hear from you.
Okay,
what
so
are the basic rights every child supposed to get from the government?
From the government, I say the school, because sometimes it's government that own government schools. So they should make sure that these schools, they are well developed, because some of these schools, they are so underdeveloped and dilapidated. So they should make sure that these schools are well kept and well placed, that the children they sit well, they sit comfortably in their seat, because their seat sometimes is not good. So you should make sure that their school is properly developed, and you should also make sure that they are secure wherever they go, because all these news of them kidnapping children from schools is not meant to be so. They're meant to make sure that kids are secured very, very well. Security is also one of the main priorities of the government for the children. So yeah, that's it.
Yes, the government own all the government schools, be it primary and nursery and secondary, but at least don't make it look shabby, don't make it look disorganized. At least make it.
Wait, is it because you people are students? You are talking school. Is it the only thing that government is owing you?
This is the most important thing for school. Yes, we've talked about security. Security is also important, and it is one of it's after education for me. I will place security number 2, because you can't believe it. We know how wonderful our society is. We know how secure our society is. So it is the right of the child to be secured by the government. Yeah.
Okay.
And equally, just like they say, equally, I will equally add providing of healthcare centers, because it's necessary. It's very, very necessary. And another one I'll add is steady power supply. Because okay, in all the schools now, there are all these government schools now you go to. Sorry to say this, no power supply. Power supply, I will just give it Fair 9. Because it's very, very poor. It's very, very poor. And the worst part of it is that they don't even have something like gen to even power up the thing. So providing of the health care centers and power supply, steady power supply should be equally involved.
And just like let me also throw more light on the school that is system, since that people that is love dwelling on that school system. And let me say this: I met one boy a few days ago. The boy, I was asking that we are just talking about something. I was asking about his dad and mom. Then after that, the boy now boldly told me that this school, I'm no longer going to school again. After passing out from school, what else? And to allow you to pass out from that school, problem. Passing out, no work. Okay, allow me to pass from the school. You refuse that I will be in school. Do you know what the boy told me? Daddy, I am no longer going to school. Let me go and hustle. And some of these young boys in the name of hustling has entered into so many funny things. Call it Yahoo, call it 419. Because school, we are not well organized. Is that okay? So this yearly or next, I don't know, yearly or yearly strike. They have landed a whole lot of kids into wrong things. And when you expose a child in volatile or in something that he's supposed not to, before you know it, he becomes like that. So, but if our school system, why I want to talk about this school system, you people keep on bombarding about this school system. If the school system is in progress, that we don't experience this, that 4 years, a child will pass out and go and begin to go and maybe look for what to do. 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, there you are out. But a child being into every year, so which meaning to say a course that you're supposed to study for 4 years, you ended up in 6 or 5 years. Oh, that is, and some withdraw. Some of these children withdraw. And at the end of the day, it will make a society that is bad. Is that okay? So one of the rights of every child in any society is what? Is education. It's education. Even if they are not schooling on free education, on what do they call it, on scholarship, let it be steady. We are paying, but let it be steady. Do your own. At the end of the day, you are depopulating the government school and populating private schools and overseas schools, which some of you parents cannot afford. Is that okay? So please, that is it. I believe then another thing is security. Security. Every child needs to be secure. Every child needs protection. Every child needs to be secure in school, outside school, even there in the worship centers. They need security. If you don't secure them, they might end up in being those that people will be afraid of. So then you mention about hospital again, medical centers. Please, I don't see the reason why people will still be traveling abroad to treat themselves. Why we have all it takes. God, in fact, somebody told me in Igbo language, let me say, he said that so if God has given you all it takes to take off, why are you staying? Why are you staying, still remaining where you are or where you are? I mean, why are you staying there? Everything that we needed is in this society. Whatsoever that it requires for us to have the best hospital in the world is here. Why are we like this? Somebody said that, are we the cause or are we caused? Are we the cause? What has these children done to you? Common paracetamol in the hospital. So let something be done. You have had them. They talk about security. They talk about school system, and they talk about medical.
Yes.
Medical system. Very poor. Very poor. But I believe God will help us. God will help our governments and all that are involved. Yes. So what again are we expecting from government? Then let's talk about the benefits. After giving you the rights, you have talked about your rights from your parents, you've talked about your rights from government. Then what are we parents expecting from you? And what our government is expecting from you, or expecting from you, rather? Is that okay? After giving you all these your demands, after keeping to their own part of the covenant, what are their expectations? Best from you. First, from our parents. What are we expecting? Having done all this.
Okay, the expectation from the parents. Number one, that we shouldn't disappoint them after giving us the things we need. We should give them like a good result.
So our parents, you are expecting good results when you do your own. Then from government.
Then from government, they should expect a good society, because when they do their work and they tend to work work hand in hand with us, the society will be a very good and nice society.
Okay, Kellen.
Okay.
That is having paid their dues, the government and the parents. What are they expecting? What are they expecting in return?
Okay, inside of the parents, once the parents do their job, that providing all these things we just listed.
From spiritual aspects side of
yes,
it, down to material.
Yes, the child tends the child will not forget the parent, because there's no way that someone will do for you a good thing and you forget and you pay the person back. You pay the person back with bad thing. You understand? So inside of the parents, I would say that that once the child is being trained well, is being disciplined well, the child tends to be a good son to the dad and a good son to the mother or the daughter. You understand? Then inside of the government, whereby the government do their own part, play their own part. For instance, like creating social amenities, the education system is perfect, and let's say now someone will graduate, let's say that 4 years, and there is work. We tend to have a good society, less bad things, less the terrorism, less the robbery, less with all these bad things that are happening in society. So with all these things, I believe that society will be a great place.
Okay, wonderful. That having the parents have done their own, government have done their own, then what are they expecting in return? Because they will not invest and go back empty-handed. What are they expecting? The parents and the government.
As children, if once our parents have already done all they can, we should do all we can to. We should try our possible best to make them proud, because them providing for us, training us, paying for our living expenses, it is not easy. It is not easy at all. So we should also make sure to try our best to make them proud. Because if we disgrace them, it is on your head. So we should make sure that we make them proud, showing them good results by our behaviors, our actions, and all that we do.
Their government.
Then from the government too.
What they are expecting.
What the government, if
they give you steady light, medical center is okay, education system is perfect. Then after investing, what are they expecting?
Okay, what the government is meant to expect is a very, very civilized society. Because once all these things you say is done, crime will be reduced. The crime rate will be so reduced. Because when there is work, when they've already made education very, very easy and fast, crime will reduce. Everybody will be working. The city and society will be secure and safe. So that's what the government is meant to expect. A safe and civilized society where there are no delinquents. Yeah.
Friends, you have heard it all, that when parents and the government do their own part, that in return, they will get good results. Society will be suitable. There will be no terrorism. Civilized country. There will be no terrorism. Everything they invested in them, they will in return get it. Therefore, every parent should sit up. Every government should also sit up. Let's conclude.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's topic, and I hope that you learned a lot from it, because I learned too. So we'll see you in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and
equally hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we post a new video like this.
still me, your humble brother and pastor. I say, may the Lord bless you.
Yes.
And God will help us in all these challenges we are facing today. The Bible says that it came to pass. One day it will pass. It will not remain. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep on keeping you. And do not forget, keep on keeping focus. And no one will take your place. Remain blessed in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Love you.
Love you.